To you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is another fantasy football video. Now I do apologise if I sound absolutely horrendous right now. I'm very ill, but of course that's not going to stop me from making a YouTube video for you guys. I'm trying to power through it, but hopefully I get better soon. Today we're going to be covering two under the radar players and also two players that could struggle in this fantasy football season. Now really quickly, I just want to define under the radar. Of course, as you can see Pascal Gross on the screen right now, he did actually get a high amount of points last season, and he is 6.5 million, but by under the radar, I do mean players who will have a pretty low pick rate in comparison to the points that they can actually get you. And like I said, as you can see, Pascal Gross last season, a really good season for him. And relatively cheap at 6.5 million. I know there are slightly more kind of like bigger names that you can go for cheaper, you know, Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister, they're around 5 to 6 million. But in this scenario, Pascal Gross, I'm sure, is in for another top season. Moving on to our second and final under the radar player, we have Morgan Gibbs-White. Very similar situation to Pascal Gross in the fact that he won't be picked huge amounts, but he does offer that sort of like 120 to maybe 170 point threshold for our season, which is really solid if you're just spending 6 million on him. Like I referred to in the last clip, obviously you do have people like Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, who are kind of in that same bracket as far as price, but I do believe if you want some points, Morgan Gibbs-White is your man. Now let's get into the players that will struggle section, starting with Matoma. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to receive a lot of heat for this one because both of these picks are very controversial, especially considering the amount of points they got last season. And no disrespect to Matoma here, but I do see him having a really underwhelming season. Obviously, the kind of standard he set himself last season being just one of the most electric wingers in the Premier League, I don't think he'll be able to hold that up this season. Therefore, we may see half of his points, or maybe he just loses a big amount of points due to this. But we'll have to wait and see, of course. Like I said, no disrespect to Matoma. I think he's a good player, but he overperformed last season. Moving on to our last player I think will struggle, we have Ben White, and I'm totally aware I'm going to get absolutely grilled for this one, but hear me out. I had him in my team last season and he secured me more points than I ever thought he was going to secure me. Really top player. But you have to understand that Arsenal have just bought in Jurrien Timber. I don't think they bought in Timber to play backup. Ultimately, Timber will start and Ben White will be backup. At this moment in time, Jurrien Timber is Arsenal's most capable right back right now. So I do believe, because of this, of course, Ben White will lose points by not playing as many games. So there we go. I think he'll struggle.
To you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.